Mike Tyson famously said, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth." And in this event, I took one right on the chin early. It wasn't the start I imagined, but that's where the story really began.
Yes, James.
This tournament tested my grit, focus, and my refusal to back down. This one is all about digging deep and finding a way to fight back.
He is pretty pumped about it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are here right now to tee up my 2025 Canadian Open Regional Qualifier, which is tomorrow. So first stage of qualifying for the Canadian Open. It is being hosted at Griffon des Sauces, which is now my home course. It plays over 7,500 yards from the tips. We're not going to play it fully tipped out tomorrow. It will still play about 7,300 yards. So tomorrow it is going to be cold. We're likely to get some rain. It's going to be windy. And because the course is already wet, it's going to play every single one of the 7,300 yards because it's basically going to be carry only. Assuming there are 120 or more golfers who tee off in the qualifier, the winner of the qualifier goes directly into the Canadian Open. Apart from that, they take the top 10% and ties, who will then advance into the final qualifier, which is essentially the Monday qualifier for the RBC Canadian Open. So the obvious goal is to go out tomorrow and win because you're playing on a tour event after that automatically. The secondary goal, if you're not going to win it, you got to finish inside of that top 10%, which is likely to be, top 13 or 14-ish and ties. I do expect that an over par score is still going to advance to the final qualifier. Update on my situation, I have been continuing to rehab my injury. Things are moving in the right direction. I'm not at 100%, but for the most part, my mobility has been better. I've been in less pain. Now, the reason I am teeing this up tonight and not the morning of, I am the first group off in the morning, which, given my current situation and the injury, is far less than ideal. One of the things that is very difficult for me right now is cold. As soon as my body gets cold, my mobility is reduced, my low back gets really tight, and then just moving and swinging the golf club becomes even more difficult than it normally would be. So the 7:30 tee time, it's gonna feel like about 5 Celsius. I'll put in Fahrenheit on screen what that is because I'm not sure of the conversion off the top of my head. It's going to be windy and it's likely to be raining early in the morning as well. So that's gonna be it for now. I'm gonna go get some sleep, and the next time you guys see me, I will be on the driving range or the putting green tomorrow morning, getting ready for this 2025 RBC Canadian Open Regional Qualifier. It is early, it is raining, and it is cold. The main goal for my warm-up this morning was exactly that. Warm up, literally. Considering the conditions, my body is feeling pretty good this morning, at least once I got my body moving. My worry was whether I'd be able to keep my back warm once we were on the course and there would be longer breaks between shots. So the weather is exactly as predicted. Cold, wet, windy. It is going to be a tough day. As mentioned before, this is a very tough golf course. Pars are going to be an excellent score today. We cannot expect a ton of birdies. The main goal is to basically just keep bogeys off the scorecard. This is going to be a grind. This round is all about survival. I've got my buddy Mauricio from Nocturvani Golf on the bag today. First time he's on the bag for me, but I got a good feeling about it. We've got a good vibe going.
Welcome everyone. This is the 7 a.m. starting time. First on the tee. From Montreal, Quebec, James Colin Davis.
Woo.
And here we go. Now, she did say the 7 a.m. tee time. It is, in fact, 7:30. We are the first group off of the first hole, and I am first to hit, so literally opening up the tournament. The first hole today, par 4, playing 405 yards. Pretty much straight away, a little bit uphill. Just looking to put a good swing on this, have a nice, solid start to the day. Always feel like your drive on the first hole is going to set the tone, even though it's not really the case. That's a pretty good ball. Swing didn't feel great. Contact wasn't perfect, but I mean, I'm right side of the fairway, so nothing wrong with that. Now, with the conditions being this cold, you have to adjust, knowing that the ball is not going to travel as well as if it was warmer up. The ball's just not going to compress the same way. Also, your body's not going to be as warm, your swing speed's going to be down, and I'm wearing so many layers I can barely turn. So these are all things that Mauricio and I are trying to account for here as we figure out our approach shot into the first hole. So I had 146 yards left to this back left flag. We decided to hit an 8-iron. Not quite full, just a bit of a punchy one, but there was no chance a 9-iron was going to get there. That was a decent hit, just kind of pushed it out to the right. I wasn't trying to challenge that flag, there wasn't much room left of it. Would have liked it a little bit closer, but that is a miss on the safe side. Gives us a putt, obviously an outside chance. We got about 35 feet here going across the green. This is going slightly uphill and breaking from right to left. Now, I saw this as breaking quite a lot, but wasn't sure, and I didn't want to leave it well above the hole. So I definitely played it a little bit lower than I thought I should. Turns out my read would have been pretty good, but again, from 35 feet, you know, if that goes in, it's a bonus. I've left myself a very simple uphill par putt here to start the day. Par on 1. That's a pretty solid start. As I said previously, pars today are going to be a great score. The second hole is a very challenging par 4. Now, they've got us up a box, so it's playing 440 instead of the usual 470. But you can see how narrow the gap is there for the tee shot. The fairway is only about 18 yards wide. You really have to place this well. So I've got driver out, and I'm not trying to challenge the corner, but I'm just trying to take it over the right corner, and that is way right. This is my back cooled down a little bit, wasn't able to turn through it, left the face open. I'm going to go ahead and hit a provisional here. Yeah. It's a better swing. Again, not hit amazing, but it's in play. That's going to be in the left rough, but at least it's in play. It's safe. So we took a quick look for the first one, but there was really no chance that that was going to stay in play. So for our fourth shot here from the left rough, 170 yards to a back right flag. That is an 8-iron that is not very well struck. Hit it a little bit heavy, but well enough to get it up onto the front left of the green. That's going to leave us a very, very long putt here for our bogey. Probably about 60, 65 feet here. Going from front left to back right. Turning from left to right, going up that slope that you see. This is really all about pace. Now, we've already made a bit of a mess of this hole. We just want to get this down into, limit the damage. Really nice putt. Good for pace. Pretty good leave. Left that inside of 3 feet. So, pretty good effort from that distance. So this to clean up for my double. And that is one of the worst putts I have hit in my professional career. Just a bit of a mess mentally right now. But before you think about clicking away, do yourselves a favor, stick around. This gets really, really interesting. The third hole is a very challenging par 3, 218 yards today to an elevated green, very small green, so hard to hit this surface and give yourself a birdie putt. Wind was into and off the right. I'm hitting hybrid, which I've never hit on this hole. And that is another swing like my first drive on the second hole. Just can't get through it. Club face stays open. It's going to be pin high, but well right off the green. Actually closer to being out of bounds than on the green, but it is in play. Now at this point, we've just made a triple bogey on our second hole of the day. We cannot afford to make any more bogeys at this point. We have got to find a way to get this up and down, but this is not an easy situation. The green is running away from us. It is downwind. Pretty good shot there. I mean, it would have been very, very hard to put that close to the hole, but at least we've given ourselves a putt. And I'm stalking this putt because I know that another drop shot at this point, any more bogeys at this point, and the goal is just getting too far out of reach. As mentioned earlier, not many birdies on this golf course. So this putt here for my par, this has got a ton of break from left to right, going slightly uphill but down at the end.
Yes, James.
We cash the par to at least kind of mentally stay alive and get some momentum going. That was a great bounce back up and down after the troubles on the second hole. The fourth hole is a 551 yard par 5. This doglegs to the right, playing into the wind today. Now, this hole is playing so long that I know I'm not going to be able to get my drive around the corner, so I'm trying to play this down the left side to at least give myself an angle to get up over the trees and advance my second shot. Going down the right side made the second shot extremely difficult. So that's a good drive there. That felt like a good swing. You can see here Mauricio and I discussing the shot, saying the ball's above my feet. It's going to turn to the left, but the wind is going to hold it up. So we have 280 yards in. We're not going for this. We've got to go up over these trees. I'm hitting a 7-iron here, just trying to launch it up in the air, which I do. And it does draw off the lie, and the wind just didn't really hold it up the way that we expected it to. So that ends up finishing in the left rough. But we do have a shot. Got 139 yards in here. This is a 9-iron. Not a full one, just a little sawed-off 9-iron. Nice flight, good line. Good iron shot there. Fortunately, just went a little bit past the hole. I didn't think the 9 was going to go that far out of that lie, but the proximity was pretty decent. We've given ourselves a look for birdie here, though this is no gimme of a putt. This thing is extremely quick, with a lot of break from right to left. I've just seen somebody putt on a similar line, and it got away from them quickly, and that just scared me a little bit. I just tried to die it into the front edge and didn't give it enough gas. I think I was just a little scared of a high side lip out there. Anyways, that's a par. Would have loved the birdie, but we'll take the par. I'm going to say it again, pars are a good score. The fifth hole is a par 3 today, playing 162 yards, going uphill and into the wind. We are hitting a 7-iron today. Again, not quite a full one, just a punchy one, trying to keep it a little lower, keep it a little more under the wind. Pin's a little bit on the right side of the green, so I'm trying to favor the left side a little bit. Now that's a bit of a pull. It's definitely a little bit left of where I would have liked it, but it is a safe shot. We did take the right side out of play. This birdie putt here, about 30 feet, just outside of 30 feet, going downhill, breaking from left to right, pretty much all the way. Should straighten out a little bit at the end. This is really just about pace here. Really nice roll. Pretty good for pace. As you see, just straightened out a little bit at the end there. But that was a good putt. Again, those aren't going to fall too often. It's a bonus when they fall. Being able to walk up there and tap in a stress-free par on this par 3 was quite nice. The 6th hole is a par 5, 557 yards. Pretty long, pretty narrow. You can see it's a fairly intimidating tee shot here. You've got some hazard down the left and out of bounds all the way down the right-hand side. So I am trying to favor the left side of the fairway here. That's another good drive. That was well hit. See, it's going to land on the left side of the fairway there. That puts us in a good position. So 260 yards in for our second shot. I've decided that I'm going to go for it. This is my 3-wood that I hit absolutely perfectly straight at the flag. It lands just short.
Yes, James.
And bounces up onto the front edge of the green. That is a heck of a golf shot. That really got things turned around for me mentally. So we have this effort here for eagle going up the hill, probably about 24 feet. Now, obviously want to give this a chance, but anything that gets, 2-3 feet past the hole is a pretty tough putt coming back down the hill, so I don't want to get too aggressive here. Put a good roll on it. It was really good for pace, just a slight underread, turned a little bit more to the right going up the hill than I'd expected. We're going to be able to go ahead, once I avoid my playing partner's line, tap in for birdie. That gets us back to 2 over and gets us a little bit back into this fight. The 7th hole is a par 4, 433 yards straight away. One of the wider holes on the golf course. This is one that you always feel like you should take advantage of. I'm hitting driver. Just trying to put it on the left side of the fairway so you have a little bit more room down the left side than the right. Another good swing, good contact, just left of the center of the fairway. That was a nice swing right there. This left us 143 yards here, going a little bit uphill, but downwind to a back flag. Now, the one thing you cannot do on this hole is go long. It falls off the back very quickly, and then the green is sloping away from you. So we're trying to make sure that we select the right club that is going to take long out of play. 9-iron was going to be the aggressive club, but long is in play. Pitching wedge, even if I hit my best one in these conditions, was not going to go long. So we elect to hit the pitching wedge, knowing that it takes long out of play. And this is good because it means I can put a pretty hard, confident swing on it without worry. And I just pushed it a little bit out to the right. Overall, the contact was pretty good. Definitely came up a little bit shorter than we would have liked, but it is on the green. It is safe. We did a good job there of analyzing the situation and making sure that we were taking bogey out of play. So we do have a bit of a long birdie look here, about 30 feet, but it is going uphill. You can see that I'm trying to stretch my back out there. It is definitely still a little tight. So this look here for birdie, uphill. I'm expecting this to turn from right to left. Now, this is my home course. I have played a bunch of golf here, not a ton. I am still kind of learning the greens though. So this look here, good stroke, good roll, on my line, and just really no turn. Basically a dead straight putt. But at least it was good for pace, because I haven't left us much work here for the par, though the par putt I have left myself is going to be slightly downhill, but the proximity is so good that that really should not be an issue here. Tap in for our par, keeps us at 2 over after 7. The 8th hole is a 421 yard par 4. The dog leg's a little bit to the right after coming out of this narrow chute that you see. But normally I would be hitting 3-wood on this hole. Usually it's warmer. Usually this is downwind. Today it's cold and it's into the wind. So driver's the play. It is not going to challenge the water short of the green at all. That was a good swing there. Another solid hit right on my line. It's another fairway. That second hole was unfortunate, but apart from that, the game has felt pretty decent. Got 130 yards in here. This is my 9-iron. We're going into the wind to a back right flag. Again, knew I could put an aggressive swing on this. This was not going to go long. Starting it just left of the hole.
Yes.
Pin high. That is a quality approach shot from that position on the safe side, but still giving us a look at birdie. Now I know at this point that converting this birdie putt, getting myself back to 1 over would be massive. If you'd told me on the first tee that I would be 1 over going on to 9, I would very happily have taken it. Now, this is a putt that I do know, and one of my playing partners had just putted on a very similar line, and he confirmed what I knew. Even though this looks like it wants to break to the front of the green, it does not. It is a dead straight putt.
Yes.
And I drop that into the dead center of the hole.
Oh.
Birdie on 8, back to 1 over, and now we really feel like we are right back in the mix here today. The 9th hole is a fairly challenging par 4. They'd moved us up a box, so it was only playing 442, but it's a tight tee shot, very difficult green. So job number 1 here is just to put a drive in play, give yourself a shot in, ideally hit the fairway so you'll have a little bit more control. It's another good hit. It does turn over on me just a little bit. As I was picking up my tee, I remember saying, please stay in the fairway. Unfortunately, it did not. Missed the fairway by about 2 feet. Got a bit of a funky lie. Now, I'm close to the drain, but I'm not standing on it, and it's not impeding my swing. So I'm not going to get relief, which is okay. You know, it is what it is. We got 150 yards in here. Again, Mauricio and I trying to figure out what club to hit. Long was dead, and this was playing downwind, a little bit off the right. We're hitting pitching wedge from 150, even though it's cold, because it's going to take long completely out of play.
Go.
Nice swing, good contact, turned over on me a little bit.
Yes.
See, if that had landed just a couple yards to the right, it actually would have kicked down towards the hole. Instead, it kicked to the left. That's fine. We are on the green. We are going to have a bit of a challenging 2-putt, though. It's going to be tough for pace, and it's got some movement on it. So, going up over that crest, and it's going to start turning to the left as it goes downhill before straightening out and actually going back towards the right. There's a low spot just behind Mauricio. So this is a tough putt, but really all I'm trying to focus on is pace. Just want to get this down to 2, make the turn at 1 over. Get a good putt. Slight overread. You'll see the ball start to go back to the right there. That was definitely a little frisky on pace there. I've left myself about 6 feet here coming back up the hill, but luckily because I did go past with the first putt, that gave me a read. I know that this is going to break ever so slightly to my left as this goes back up the hill. This feels like a must make. Great par putt. Making the turn at 1 over after triple bogeying the second hole is a massive W. The 10th hole is a 560-yard par 5, dog legs way to the right. Now, if it's nice out, I'll hit driver, challenge the corner, go up over the trees, try and attack the green in 2. The course is just playing way too long right now to even try that, so I'm just hitting hybrid. Safely out to the left side here. Figure, why assume the risk of trying to go up over the trees if you're not even going to challenge the green in 2? So, we're laying it back safely. It's a good swing there, left side of the fairway, going to give me a good angle around the corner. 315 yards left in. Now there is water down the left. I don't want to challenge that. This is a 5-iron, so this is going to give me a scoring club in while not challenging the water, not going far enough up that if I miss left, the ball could go into the water. Now that was a really nice strike. Fortunately, the ball just didn't seem to go anywhere. It felt like the wind kind of swirled back into us on that when we were expecting it to be downwind. But we're in the fairway. We've got a shot in. Got 143 yards here to this middle flag. Again, should be downwind. I'm hitting pitching wedge. Ball's a little bit above my feet, so I'm expecting this to draw back in. It doesn't. It just kind of pushed it out to the right a little bit and took a very strange kick. Again, that ball went absolutely nowhere. That didn't even cover the front edge. But we are okay. That was again, a strange kick, but it did kick it down onto the fringe. Actually gives us an uphill birdie putt. Still an outside look. The proximity definitely wasn't great, but uphill birdie putt. I'm expecting this to break to the left. And it really doesn't break at all. So another misread there. Good for pace again. Like overall, the pace has been quite good. But a little confused by some of these reads. Anyways, this to clean up for par. We managed to clean up the par. That is a tough par 5, playing even more difficult than usual today, so we'll take the par. 11 is a challenging par 4. They'd moved us up a couple of boxes actually, so it was playing 386 yards. So dogleg's hard to the right. You've got to hit out to that fairway that we see in the distance there towards that tree. This is just a 4-iron. A little punchy one going back into the wind. So making sure that I'm getting it over the creek that you see there. Taking that out of play. Put it into the left side of the fairway up there. Good swing there. That one felt nice. The long irons have not been great since my injury. So this leaves us 169 yards. Now this is a very difficult approach shot. We're going back into the wind. Pin is in the back left of the green. I've got the ball below my feet and we're on a bit of a downslope. So I'm hitting 7-iron here. I know the ball is going to come out a little low. I'm trying to like punch this through the wind. I'm hoping it'll chase up to the back. And I hit that pretty good. And it didn't even carry to the front edge. You see it skips up to the front edge and just kind of stops there. So we are putting, but we've got an awfully long putt going way uphill. Now, again, it's safe. There were definitely worse places to leave that. But we've got our work cut out for us here if we want to make par on this challenging par 4. This is kind of the amen corner of this golf course, if you will. So getting through here at even would be huge. So this birdie putt here from the front left going to a pin at the back left. This is massively uphill, as you can see. This is going to be very slow, but it is downhill after the hole, which you always want to be a little bit aware of. And this is going to turn fairly heavily from right to left. And you can see the line was good, but it just did not give it enough pace. And I have left myself some work here for par. Again, we have got to keep bogeys off the scorecard. All of these putts at this point are must makes. And that is a fantastic conversion there. Very solid 6-footer that I had to start outside of the hole. Dropped it in the dead center. The 12th hole is a par 3. Today playing 203 yards. Pin is back right. Now we had this downwind. Now I'm hitting 6-iron. I feel like in these conditions, it's maybe not enough club, but 5-iron brings long into play. Good strike with the 6-iron. Tried to throw it up in the air to get the wind to help it get back there. Does finish basically middle of the green, but on this par 3, that is a very good shot. Another good club selection. 5 would have been overly aggressive on that hole. Leaves us an uphill birdie putt, breaking from left to right. It does have a decent amount of break on it, so gotta be pretty careful with your read here. And this is a decent look. You know, it's an outside chance, but it is uphill. And it's left to right, which is not the best for right-handed putters, but put a good roll on it.
Either one.
Cash the birdie. We are back to even par after 12 holes, after being 3 over after 2. Leave a like for that, guys. The 13th hole is a very long par 5. 666 yards. And today in these conditions, it felt like it was playing about 800 yards. Now luckily today it's not into the wind. Normally it would be. Job number 1 off the tee here. Just put it in play. Nobody's challenging this green in 2, so you just want to make sure that your ball's in play here. Good drive, just a slight push. Missed the fairway, but by less than a yard. But it did plug in the rough, which is a little unfortunate. Robbed us of a couple extra yards there. You can see, ooh, yeah, that's a good plug right there. So we had 385 yards left. After taking my drop, I am hitting 3-wood, trying to take it down the left center of the fairway. Good strike, just a tiny little pull going down the left rough line. Again, plug. So got robbed of a couple extra yards there. Again, this course is so wet right now, unfortunately. So there we go. Another plug mark. We had 147 yards still left to go. I'm hitting a 9-iron to this front left flag. Wind is kind of off the right and a little down. Pretty decent strike, just pulled it a little bit. Kind of kicks off that front fringe, back off the green. Decent for proximity. Obviously would have preferred to have been on the green. Not a terrible shot, but it didn't really put us in any trouble. I've got this birdie look here from the fringe. Now, this whole green slopes from back to front, so you would think that this putt would have to go to the right. Kind of looked like it wanted to go to the left, which was a little confusing. I played it just kind of left edge, expecting that the overall break of the green would influence it, and it did break to the left. So I've marked that down in my yardage book. That was a good putt. I did what I was trying to do. Fortunately, just another misread there. But we'll take the par. That hole was not playing easy today. The 14th hole is an absolutely fantastic par 3 today, playing 181 yards. There is water short and down the right, and they have the Sunday pin, if you will, the back right pin placement. The one thing you cannot do here is put your ball in the water. So I'm not even looking at the flag. I'm looking at the middle of the green, and then I'm going to pull it off of that line a little bit. Definitely a little bit of an anti-right swing there. So I am going to miss the green to the left, but that was by design. You never want to put your ball in the water here. It's almost an automatic double. At least from where I am, I have a chance to get up and down for my par. So, bit of a tricky shot here. I'm going to have to land this on the back left plateau of the green. That's going to kick it a little bit to the right. Then it's going to go down a tier to the area where the pin is today, and it should break a little bit back to the left. It's just picking a landing spot, getting the pace right. Pushed it a little bit, but really nice golf shot there nonetheless. Got it pin high from where I was, but I have left myself, about 5 feet here for my par. And this putt has got some break to it. This is definitely no gimme. This is a 5-footer breaking from left to right that I'm going to have to start slightly outside of the hole. This would be huge.
Yes.
Another great par save. And been so solid on those 5 or 6 footers with this new putter. So 15 is the last par 5 that we will be playing today. It is 531 yards. Normally plays downwind. Today is playing into the wind. So I'm hitting driver. I know this is really our last scoring opportunity. The last 3 holes are quite tough after this. Good swing there. Good contact. Just slightly down the left. Again, just missed the fairway. But all in all, I am in good position. We should still be able to attack from there. So I have 249 yards left here, again going back into the wind. Now, 3-wood's definitely a bit of an aggressive play, especially coming out of the rough. But I know that if I hit this well enough and get it up by the green, it opens up on the right. You get past the group of trees that you can see there. So I am just going full commit 3-wood here. Really good strike. It did squirt out a little bit to the right. You can see us running after it so we can see where it lands. That is going to land just short right of the green. Actually, almost pin high. Even with the front edge, a little bit to the right. You can see Matt zooming in on where the ball is there. I was fired up after that shot. that took a lot.
He is pretty pumped about it.
Actually fired up and then quickly trying to settle myself down again. So this little pitch here, try and get up and down for birdie. Bit of a difficult shot. You can see a big slope there, so you don't want to fly it too far and give yourself a downhill putt. I'm trying to play this to land at the base of the slope and skip up. Trying not to put any spin on that shot. Now that did pretty good. I would have liked to have put it a little bit closer. The execution there was nice, but I have left myself the uphill putt, and that's really what I was looking for. Now this is an odd putt because it really looks like it wants to break to the left, but I know that this putt is going to break up the hill to the right. So I'm playing this kind of left center inside of left edge. I want to put a little bit of pace on it. And that just broke off the planet. I didn't put as much pace on as I would have liked, but regardless, I mean, it's unbelievable how hard that putt breaks up the hill, and that one hurt. That was a missed opportunity. That could have got us back under par for the day, and that would have put us potentially in contention to actually win the thing. On to 16, tough par 4. They'd moved us up a box, so it is only playing 426, and it's downwind. So, tight fairway, gonna take a good one here. And that's possibly the best drive I hit all day. Down the left side of the fairway, which is the side I was favoring.
God, that is far.
That's going to put us in a really nice spot to attack this green. But that being said, this pin was back left on a top tier, and there's water just long. That tier is not very deep, so we're not trying to get too aggressive here. This is pitching wedge from 144. We're just trying to play middle of the green. And it had cooled down in the last few minutes. My back started to get tight, and like a couple of the swings early on 2 and 3, unable to get through that. Leave the face open. That ends up in the front right bunker, and that is not a good spot to be when you're going to that back left flag. So again, even from this bunker shot, I can't be aggressive because that brings the water into play. I'm trying to blast this out. Hopefully, it kind of releases up the slope to the hole. But you're going to see that it's going to catch that little swale there. That's going to take it further away from the hole. But the important thing is that we did not bring the water into play. It's an unfortunate situation, but we've just got to do the best we can from there. We have this par putt here going uphill, breaking hard to the right as it goes up that slope, and then it's going to straighten out and actually go back left at the end, slightly downhill, once it gets up top. This would be massive to keep us at even par.
Back. Go.
Absolutely had the line there. Didn't quite give it enough gas. We're going to go ahead and tap in for our bogey, which is unfortunate. Puts us at 1 over par, but we're still in this thing. 17, par 3. Playing 191 yards today, back into the wind. You can see it has started raining again. It is really miserable out at this point. Pin's a little on the left side of the green. I'm actually hitting 4-iron because we figured there's no chance in these conditions the 5-iron would even get to the front edge. Did pull this slightly,
Yes, James.
but my original aiming point was good enough that even with the pull, that keeps us on the green. That's a quality golf shot right there, one that we needed at this point. We have got to make sure that we come in at +1 or better if we want to get through. This birdie putt here, downhill, going left early, and should go right at the end. I've had this putt before. Again, this would be huge if this can get us back to even going on to 18. Great roll. Looked good, just never took the break to the right. Can't be upset. I could not have hit a better putt there. Again, that's a stress-free par on this tough par 3. We are 1 over going on to 18, and I remember saying to Mauricio when we were walking to the 18th tee that if you'd told me on the 3rd tee that we'd be 1 over going into the last, I would have been absolutely thrilled. And that just helped kind of give me some perspective, kind of ground me a little bit, helped me just kind of reset. Soak in this moment. We've got an opportunity here. If we make par or better, chances are we are going to get through to that Monday qualifier. So 18, 417 yards. Again, they'd moved us up a box. Big tee shot here. Again, one of the better ones I'd hit all day. This hole was playing very tough, back into the wind. It's a long hole. Let's see, fist pumps with Mauricio there. We're pretty jacked at this point. It's been a heck of a day. I feel like we've been through so much. You can see that this is going back into wind. Now this is a tricky approach shot. As you'll see, there is water to the right, and there's out of bounds to the left. The pin's at the back right, but there's only a couple of paces of usable green behind that pin. Any further than that, everything slopes away, goes off the back. So when we're talking about this shot, all we're trying to figure out is how do we take long out of play. Anywhere on the green, I'm confident that I can 2-putt and get in at 1 over total. As soon as we go long, now we're chipping back onto the green, trying to get up and down to stay at 1 over. So from 144 yards here, we decide to hit 9-iron, which I know isn't going to get to the flag. It's not going to give me a good birdie look, but it's going to take long out of play. Good strike. Just right of the flag.
Great shot,
A little
James.
bit shorter than I would have liked it, and it
We're
did spin
dancing.
back down that hill a little bit, but it is safe. Right now, we just have to play this smart. We know we're not in contention to win it, so there's no point in doing anything stupid and taking ourselves out of this. So this, I'm going to say 40-footer here, going up the hill, breaking from left to right. Again, if I get overly aggressive with this could get away from us very quickly as it gets past the hole. All about pace here. Great for line. Just about 2 feet short of the hole. Now, I know Matt told me when he saw that I'd left that 2 feet short, he was seriously nervous. I did not fight as hard as I'd fought all day to get to 18 and miss a 2-footer to finish at 1 over. There was no chance that we were missing this putt.
Yes.
That is a 1 over finish. That was an incredible round of golf. Heck of a grind. I don't even know how much I believed I could recover from that triple on the second hole, but man, what a day. All right, guys, quick little instant reaction here. We've been off the course for about an hour. I guess it's not that instant. I had to take it easy for a little bit before pulling a camera out. That was a heck of a grind. I'm super proud of what I managed to do, especially after having made a triple bogey on the second hole. Showed a lot of grit, a lot of character. Mental game was very strong today. Back obviously was an issue. I'm going to go into that a little bit more, and I'm sure I talked about it in the voiceover already. We finished at 1 over. We have just been mathematically eliminated from a playoff to go directly into the Canadian Open because the player just finished at 1 under, which means we can leave, which is great because I'm exhausted. It was a very early morning. I'm going to get out of here. Matt and I are going to go grab some food. I'm going to continue giving you guys updates throughout the day as we track the leaderboard, but I feel pretty good about 1 over getting through. In fact, at this point, I'd be pretty shocked if 1 over doesn't get through. So I'm going to keep the fingers crossed. We're going to keep updating the leaderboard pretty damn occasionally. But yeah, again, very proud of what I managed to do out there considering the slow start, and catch up with you guys in a bit. All right, guys, just got home. Currently sitting at tied 17th, so just outside the cut line, but a lot of the guys ahead of me have only played like 4 or 8 holes. They're only doing score updates every 4 holes. So I'm not freaking out at this point. I'm still fairly confident that 1 over is going to get through to the final qualifier. But the leaderboard watching will continue, although I'm probably going to go take a nap. I'm exhausted. It was very early morning and a very serious mental grind, and I just don't have much left in the tank, so we'll catch up with you guys shortly. All right, guys, up from my nap, which was fantastic. Thank you for asking. We're back within the cut line, as I expected. They're actually going to take the top 14 and ties. Right now, we are tied for 12th. It looks, if anything like that, we might actually maybe go up the leaderboard a little bit more, but at this point, it doesn't matter. As long as we finish inside of that top 14, we are in the final qualifier in a couple of weeks in Toronto. Not over yet. It's not over till it's over. I'll keep you posted. All right, guys, it is officially official. We finished tied 12th. That is within the limit of 14 and ties. So we are going through to the final qualifier for the RBC Canadian Open 2025, hosted at TPC Toronto on the North Course, which is where I played my Canadian Open qualifier, final qualifier last year. So if you want to see that golf course, go check that out. So obviously, hell of a day. I'm beat. I'm exhausted. Really proud. Really proud to be battling this injury, for it to, in the conditions that we played this morning, the cold, the wet, the wind, to triple bogey the second hole and climb back into this and get through. Just could not be more proud of the character that I showed out there today, and yeah, I'm at a loss for words. I've played some pretty good rounds in competition in my professional career, and this is right up there with the rounds that I'm the most proud of. That was a fight today. To give you guys an idea of how difficult the course was playing, only 6 players finished under par. To give you an idea of the advantage that you had going off in the afternoon, 4 of the 6 players who finished under par played in the afternoon wave. Lowest score of the day was 2 under. 3 guys tied at 2 under, so they're probably right now going into a playoff to determine who's going to get the automatic spot into the Canadian Open. But yeah, to overcome everything that we overcame, bad side of the draw, injury, tough conditions, triple bogey on the second hole, we got a chance in just over a week and a half to qualify for a PGA Tour event. So we're 18 holes away from playing a tour event right now. I've got a lot of work to do, obviously, partially on my game, clean things up a little bit, but mostly on my body. I got to make sure that I'm in better shape going into that qualifier, but I'm not scared of the hard work. I will do everything I can to be as ready as possible for that qualifier. Big thanks to Mauricio for being on the bag today, for Matt to come out and film in those really tough conditions. Thank you all for your support and encouragement. I really appreciate it. You guys mean the world to me. That's going to be a wrap for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please like the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And as always, I'll be back again next week with another video. Cheers, guys.